we factor, we always look for greatest common factor first, right? So 3, 4, 21, 28. These are not going to have a greatest common factor. And I'll tell you why I can know that right off the bat is because I have two numbers that are in order. They're called consecutive, like 3, 4. When you're counting, 3 comes right before 4, right? Anytime you have numbers that are in order like that, there's not going to be a greatest common factor. It's kind of cool to know. All right, so that means that I can sort of skip the first step because, I mean, it feels like skipping it just because we were able to move on so quickly from it, of looking for the greatest common factor for all four terms. So now we draw the line and we're dividing it, we're grouping it. That's, I guess, why it's called grouping, right? So we're going to divide whatever our greatest common factor is just for the first two terms. Now we just said 3 and 4 are in order, so there's not going to be anything in terms of the number part. But they both have m's in them. They both have at least two m's multiplied together. And so that's the most that we can take out of this. So when I have 3m cubed and I take away m squared, or I take away two of those 3m's, then I'm still left with the 3 that was in front, and I have 1m left. 3 minus 2 is 1. All right, over here, I have 4m squared, and I divide m squared. I had two m's multiplied together, taking them away, so I don't have any left. A number divided by itself is 1, so this is 4 times 1 is 4. Essentially, they cancel out. You're left with a 4. On the right side, be really careful about this. You always want to divide by a negative if the first thing after that line, after that dividing line, is negative. And I didn't mean to cover it up. I meant to highlight it. Let's try that again. All right. So if you see a negative first, then you have to divide by a negative. Just remember that little detail. And when we do that, we're thinking, okay, I know that I should get the same thing I got over here in parentheses, 3m plus 4. So then the question is, well, how can I divide negative 21m and get 3m? 21 divided by 3 is 7, and the m stays there. So it looks like we're dividing by negative 7. So let's check and see. If negative 28 divided by negative 7, yeah, that's positive 4. So you can kind of work backwards if you know, okay, my parentheses have to be the same. So what number would make them be the same? And if you can't find a number, or if the signs aren't working, it means you've messed up somewhere. So it's a good chance to kind of look back and figure out what you did. All right, so we divided by negative 7. Negative divided by negative is positive, 3m and positive 4. All right, we're ready to write our final answer. And real quick before we do, I just want to say that, you know, nice job with the tenacity. If you're still with this, then you're determined to understand it, and I love that. So keep it up. All right, let's look at the final answer, which would be, we're going to take whatever was in parentheses. We'll put that in one of these. It doesn't matter which one. You can put it in the first one or the last one. And then whatever we divided out is going to go in the other parentheses. So we divided out an m squared, and we divide out a negative 7. And that is our factored form for this polynomial. Hope that helps you. See you next time.